Hello YouTubers, it's Championdjk coming at you again with another weekly video, and this week I've got my monthly meat finds to show off. Basically, if you weren't aware, I'm in a local diecast collecting club, and we have a meet every month, once a month, where we set up tables, trade, sell, all that good stuff. It's open to the public, whatever, whether or not you're in our little Facebook group or not, you're welcome to join if you're in the area. And I usually pick up some pretty good stuff. So let's go ahead and just kind of go through all of it. Of course, we're going to do it in the standard format where I'm going to show you everything I got, and then we're going to go ahead and flip the camera around, and then we're going to open up some stuff that's not already open and take a close look at the loose stuff as well. So starting with loose cars, we got this guy. This is a Yatming. So it's a Yatming Firebird Trans Am. It's got opening doors and stuff. We'll take a closer look up at that at the in the second segment. But Crazy Todd, my buddy, found that at the meet and then immediately just resold it to me right away. So he just picked it up because he saw it. He knows I like Trans Ams, so went ahead and snaked that. Got a bunch of cars in baggies here. And of course, we'll take them out in the second segment. You got a GMC Motorhome here. We've got an oddball China brand 63, I think it's a 63 split window Corvette. This one's going to be thrown into a box for someone. And then we've got two of these Matchbox Jeep Wagoneers. One of them is red, and the other one is more of a gray. I think I already had at least one color of that, but whatever. They were $1 each, so I picked them up. Other cars that were $1 each, cool classics. We'll go ahead. We'll look at all these in the second segment, so we don't really need to spend too much time on it. This was a good deal for $1. It's a Johnny Lightning Camaro. Another cool classics. This is an old 442. And then this was $1, which was a really good deal. Dodge Dart Swinger, loose for $1. And then this one was a really good deal. This is from the, I believe this is from the Vintage Racing series. This Dodge Challenger. So that is a stellar deal for $1. So really, really cool. So all those loose cars I got were $1 each. We'll take a look at each one of those in the second segment. A bunch of them to look at there. Of course, my buddy Suresh was there, so I got my gasser, my black gasser. I already found 2 of these, but now I have one on a cracked blister. So we can go ahead and open up that in the second segment. And then he also, a while back, these came up for order from somebody. And he ordered one for me and Crazy Todd, and we split the shipping on it. This is the Hot Wheels 50th anniversary. This is a convention for the, I believe, the Mexico convention. And it is a VW Beetle. So that is pretty cool. It is the VW bug casting. We'll take a close look at the packaging and all that good stuff, and we'll open it up. These are numbered out of 6,000. This one is 4,388. So really cool to add that. Of course, I collect the Volkswagen Bug, so it's cool to get a Mexico convention piece. So that was awesome, and that was really actually affordable too, so that was another cool thing. I was able to complete my Matchbox 50th anniversary super fast. I had found the 2 other models of the 4, and now I got the Volkswagen bus. Of course, we'll open that in the second segment, and the Honda S2000. So got both of those, which is sweet. And then I got 2 out of the 3 cars that I wanted to for the replica entertainment series. I think that's still what they're calling this now, which is cool because it looks like they're ditching that old bubble packaging that they had, and they're just going with your standard now car culture packaging or pop culture packaging. Both of these now have the same packaging. And I picked up the Back to the Future 3, DeLorean, on railroad wheels, which is going to be interesting. So that would be kind of cool to take a peek at those. And then the Marvel Doctor Strange Lamborghini Huracan Coupe, which I was really excited for that. Not that I like Doctor Strange or even know anything about it, just because this Lamborghini Huracan looks fantastic. There is also an Acura NSX in this series that I definitely need to get. So I think that's a Project Cars is what it is. But I definitely need to get that one. That's the only other one I really need. There's another Back to the Future one in the series. Does it actually tell you what all of them are in the series? It doesn't. They're not all listed on the back. Well, anyway, there's 6 different cars. And 3 out of the 6 I wanted. I got 2 out of the 6 so far. Hopefully I'll find that NSX in no time. Another package car. This is a 4x4 Chevy van. This was a duplicate that that van guy had. So did a little swap for this one. I forget what I traded him for it. But it was just another van, I believe. So this is pretty cool, Chevy van. Go ahead and open up that in the second segment. And then for my buddy Josh, he had ordered a couple of these and he had an extra one. So this is the Johnny Lightning Import Heat Rally 2-pack with a Mitsubishi Lancer Evo and a 2000 Civic hatchback. And kind of like rally racing liveries. So excited for those. These looked really good. I wasn't necessarily going to pick this pack up, but when I saw it in person, it kind of made sense to do it. Which is interesting, right? Crispy builds. I don't know if these are authentic liveries or not, but I think they actually might be. So that is really cool if they are. And then I picked up some cars from SC Diecast, my local hobby dealer, pretty much local to me. They show up at a lot of the meets. They're on Facebook, so I kind of just tell them what I want, and then they show up to the meets and we just settle up there at the meet, which is great because then I can save on shipping, and it's just fantastic not to have to pay money for shipping, which brings the cost of these cars down actually quite a bit when you don't have to pay for shipping. So I picked up from them the 1969 Chevy Camaro. This is a hobby exclusive Vulcan tires 69 Camaro, and I did not have the 69 Camaro yet from Greenlight. I have the 67. I don't have the 69, so had to get this one. So pretty cool. We're going to open up that in the second segment. And then I got 2 cars from the latest all-terrain batch, which is Series 7 already of all-terrain, which is kind of surprising actually, which is the 71 Ford F100 in the 1972 Datsun 510 Rally, which both of these look great. So we're going to go ahead and open up those, of course, in just a moment. And then I picked up 2 from Hobby Shop Series 5. God, it is amazing that they're already on Hobby Shop Series 5 and that they're already on All-Terrain Series 7. Man, time is flying. So picked up 2 of these, 2 cars from this Hobby Shop Series 5, which I thought were the 2 most desirable ones in the series. I wonder if there's any other one that would have been interesting. I'm just looking right now. No, I don't think so. I think these are definitely the 2. So the 70 Datsun 510 with a race car driver, and the 84 Chevy Monte Carlo SS with a vintage gas pump. I believe my Monte Carlo SS collection is complete. I think I have every variation of this casting, not including the green machines, of course. But I think I've got every variation of the regular releases. All right, so that's it for the pickup. So it was a pretty good meet. I may have not quite hauled it in as much as I normally would at these meets. Mostly, though, it's because I had met up with one of the guys that would normally be at the meets, and I got a bunch of stuff from him, which was shown in the last weekly video from my buddy there, which I had got 40 cars from him in that. So This here is a little collection of cars. We're going to go ahead and open it up in the second segment, and we're going to take a look at everything close up, and so stay tuned. All right, let's get to it. All right, so let's kick off this second segment by taking a look at this 55 Chevy Bel Air Gasser, which you can tell by the graphics is a very big deal. So this one was supposed to be a Toys R Us exclusive, if you didn't know, and then of course Toys R Us unfortunately closed its doors, and so this became, I guess, was supposed to be like a Kroger exclusive, and then wasn't a Kroger exclusive. It's been popping up at Walmart's and at various other retailers, so kind of interesting distribution on it. It still fetches a decent amount of coin, it appears, on the good old eBay, but luckily I was able to find some locally, and so was a buddy of mine, and he's a card collector, so of course didn't want the one with the broken blister, and of course I'm an opener, so it's a no-brainer to go ahead and help out a good friend and go ahead and take the one with the broken blister. And here you go. Here it is. It is pretty sweet. I'm glad to check it off the Gasser list. The Gasser is just one of those castings, of course, I'm never going to have all of because of the ridiculous priced ones being like the Candy Striper or the Wicked Gasser, or the, I don't know, that new like candy cane one, whatever the heck that is. And so obviously I don't even have the super treasure hunt Chevy Bel Air Gasser, but I do have, you know, I've got a couple of tough to find ones, and I guess this would kind of join that list of tough to find ones. It'd be interesting to see what the value of this car does once, you know, it's clear that they're totally out of distribution. As of right now, that's not so clear. There's still some that are popping up at Walmarts and such, so if you haven't found this car yet, just kind of be patient, and I would say keep an eye out. I don't think the value of it at this point is going to go too much higher than it is, so you might as well, if you hunt a lot, I would say, you know, maybe hopefully you'll still find one in the wild. Anyway, here it is. So, pretty cool. It's a nice color. It's kind of like a deep blue, sparkly, almost black color. And it looks good. It definitely does look good. So glad to have it. Glad to add it to the collection. All right, so next up, let's take a look at some of these loose cars. Here's an Olds 442. This one is from, it is an Olds 442, right? I don't want to be giving inaccurate information. Yes, it is. Okay, and it is from the Cool Classics series, which was a somewhat underrated series. It's too bad they didn't put Real Riders on that series of cars because they would have been probably a lot more popular. But really cool paint jobs. They haven't used this Spectrafrost paint since, as far as I know. So it'll be interesting to see if they ever do put out a kind of line like this again, but then put Real Riders on it. But it looks pretty good, so it's that. Whenever I see these Cool Classics cars and they're like $1, I go ahead and I just snag them. So here's a Plymouth Duster. Again, not my favorite casting, but was a buck. It's Cool Classics, and so I snagged it as an example. I don't know if I'm ever going to complete the Cool Classics set, or really even if I'm going after a Cool Classics set. It's just when like I said, when I see these cars and they're like $1, I just go ahead and snag them. Why not? So there's that. And then some off-brand stuff. Here is that split window 63. I think it's just a generic base. There's nothing on the bottom, but I think it is a Yatming. Or at least it's got the same wheels as this Yatming Trans Am, which this one is clearly a Yatming, made in China. Sticker on the bottom. It's got Yatming there on the base. Fairly clean this car is. It's not too many chips in it or anything. Doors open on it, so that is pretty neat. I think it's a cool little car. I'm after any version of the Trans Am that is out from any manufacturer of Diecast, so it is cool to have this one and add it to the collection. I don't really have many Yatming cars in the collection, so I was glad to add it. And then this split window Corvette It's just kind of a cool one. I had to pick it up. So that is pretty neat. It's just an oddball thing. I thought the tampos on it looked pretty cool. And it's in pretty good shape. So snagged it. So there's that. And then just these two Jeep Wagoneers. Again, I might actually even have both of these now that I think of it. I know for sure I've got one of the two. I think I've got the red one. But these are more current Matchbox. I think even the copyright date, yeah, 2017. So it was a fairly new casting. You've got one here with the chrome, and then one with the like silver plastic that they've been using, or gray plastic that they've been using a lot lately. Some people don't like, are not into the gray plastic. I think it looks all right depending on the casting. Sometimes that shiny look of the chrome just is inappropriate for some cars, and sometimes that gray look kind of looks pretty good. And I'm guessing it's cheaper to make this gray plastic than it is this. So if that's what it takes to keep Matchbox still looking pretty good with tampos and all that good stuff, and details and stuff like that, then that's what it takes, and I'm all right with it. So there's those two. And then this McDonald's drive-through GMC Motorhome. I'm not sure. I might actually already have this casting. Kind of checking out this second axle here. And if I do already have this one, Angel, I'll give this one to you. I know you collect this casting. I'm not sure if you have this or not. I think this can be fixed here. I'm fixing this one axle here. Yeah, there we go. There we go. The wheels were just tucked in. So if I already have this one, I have to check, and if I don't already have it, this one will end up going to you, bud, if you don't already have it. So let me know. But it's pretty cool. It's a casting I collect. I'm kind of after every variation of the GMC Motorhome. There's some older ones that are going to be tough to get, but in general, it's not that hard of a casting to collect. A lot of them are pretty accessible, so pretty neat. Anyway, to have that, and these are all $1, so including this Johnny Lightning Camaro. I don't know what series this came out in, this particular one. I don't know if it's older Johnny Lightning, if it's newer Round 2 stuff. I really don't even know. But for $1, couldn't go wrong. It's got an opening hood. It's got rubber tires, metal body, metal base. So for $1, I will add it to the collection. Plus, I don't think I have this casting in my collection. I don't think I do anyway. And this is the convertible of a 69 Camaro. So I don't think I have that in the collection. We should probably keep this out, though, because I want to take a look at this casting compared to when we get to the Greenlight 69 Camaro and check both of those out together. This Dodge Dart Swinger, of course I already have in my collection, but this was loose and it was $1. So I can't go wrong. If I ever see any auto roll cars, loose or carded, it doesn't matter what casting it is, if I see them for $1, they are not getting left behind. And that's just obvious. Why would you ever leave this behind for $1? Of course, it's got metal body, metal base, extreme amount of detail. It's Auto World. It's my favorite brand, which Auto World has slowed down here for a second. We haven't seen a new release in a little while, which I'm thinking February. I think we are going to see a new set come out. It's not going to be the one with the square body Chevy yet. I don't think that's going to be due out till, I want to say, April. But there'll be one series prior to that comes out for sure, as far as I know. So excited for that, and we'll definitely still pick up every Auto World that comes out. I'm still going to keep my collection current. And then this is probably still the biggest score for $1. This Dodge Challenger number 77. It is not dead mint. There's a little ding right there in the front. There's little minor issues. So there's a little ding right there, a little ding in that little lip in the front. There's some sort of thing going on here. I don't know if that's just like dirty right here or what that is. I haven't tried to like clean it at all yet, so I'm not sure what that is, but it's got some fingerprints on it and whatnot. But it was $1, and if you look this car up on the good old eBay, there is no way you're getting it for $1 or even close to $1. So it's from that vintage racing. Also, the taillight tampos were put on a little crooked, which I'm sure you'll see that time to time from Mattel. That's not anything out of the ordinary. And other than that, though, it's pretty awesome. That's an awesome find for $1. Can't go wrong with that. So definitely a score there. All right, so that's the loose stuff. Let's get into some of the carded stuff. Do some real quick ones. This 4x4 Chevy van, Matchbox. Go ahead and open that up. This Chevy van, there's a lot of variations out there of it. It's one I do kind of loosely collect, but I'm not like aggressively going after or even really keeping, a real good track of which ones I have and which ones I don't. But I was pretty sure I did not have this one, and it's got suspension. So that's pretty cool. I think it does anyway. I think that's intentional. Anyway, it's pretty cool on a lifted stance. Not a whole ton to look at here, but just kind of a cool Matchbox van, Chevy van. So I'm a van collector. Y'all know that. This thing rolls crazy smooth too. So that's a cool one to have, cool one to add to the collection. And then, sticking with the Matchbox for just a moment, let's take a look at these super fast cars. So, starting with this Volkswagen. Go ahead and open it up. You guys have seen this packaging before, I hope. These are showing up at your Walmarts. It's kind of weird, though, because they have kind of showed up at Walmart and then all of a sudden disappeared, and we haven't seen any since, at least at my Walmart. They got one wave of them, and then they have not been around at all. But this is the Volkswagen bus, and as you can see, the doors open on the side, which is a pretty cool feature. And they look alright. It's done okay, I guess. This is like kind of a redo of a Volkswagen bus that they had come out with in the past. That was much smaller than this, though. So the top is open, so you can kind of push the doors open from the inside out. The interior is somewhat detailed as far as in the molding. And these doors on the side here are plastic. And that's kind of how Matchbox is doing their opening parts. A lot of the opening parts that are moving and stuff like that are plastic, which I'm sure is to cut costs and whatnot. But they seem to be engineered okay. A lot of them close pretty good, open pretty good. Seem to not have much issue doing that. I don't know. This one's not done, I guess, super weird. The doors are still kind of weird how they open and close. It's definitely not how a normal door would look, open and close. But either way, it's a VW bus, and it's kind of cool. And it's got that new, whatever, Mattel, how they use their printing now is all dot matrix-y, and not a super big fan of that. Like, if you look at the way the graphics are on this car, see, they're very, very sharp. There's no, like, dot matrix quality, print quality to the graphics. They're just very, very sharply done. And this vintage racing series, I don't remember when exactly it came out, but if I had to guess by copyright date on this car, it's probably around 2011. And this one, though, you can tell, like, the graphics, like, even the red, I don't think is paint. It's, like, printed on. It's definitely printed. So, like, the red part is printed. So this car is painted white, and then it's got printing on it. And the printing is actually this red right here. Now, I understand whatever this print method is, it allows them to, like, wrap the whole car. So that's probably why they use it. But unfortunately, the resolution of it is just not very good. And you'd think in this day and age, you know, they'd be able to get it a lot better, or at least as good as they've done in the past. So it's kind of a disappointment. And you kind of see that in the RLC cars as of late as well. So here's another one. Here's the Matchbox Superfast 50th anniversary Honda S2000. And this, I guess, arguably would be the most heavily anticipated one of this series. And this is one that a lot of people definitely wanted to go after. What's this S2000? You probably won't see too many of these hanging on the pegs until these cars saturate the market, which I think eventually they will. Definitely saturate the market with these. And of course, these are all new toolings because of the opening parts. So here it is. Lots of detail there in the motor. That definitely looks good. Again, it's printed with that dot matrixy printed look or what not and what have you. But that is it. I'm also curious to see. Yeah, I don't know. Is that hood plastic? I'm guessing it is. All right, so because the color doesn't quite match the rest of the car. That's the other weird thing when you paint plastic and you paint metal. It's hard to match the paint colors. They've done a decent job of it, but not all that great. It does get full deco though, so you do get the taillights in the back. The front, it's got lens detail up front for the headlights, so that looks pretty good. And overall, I think the car looks pretty decent. The wheels are Hot Wheels Real Riders, so that's kind of a bonus, actually. The base is plastic. I believe this hood. Someone that found these before tried to tell me this is metal, but I think it's plastic. No, it is metal. No, it's not. It's plastic. I don't know why it's so hard to tell. I tried to just kind of feel it to see if it was cold. Oh, maybe that is metal. I don't know why I'm having such a hard time telling. It's probably because everything's cold right now. We're having like serious cold weather here where I'm from. It's actually Wednesday right now. I'm going to publish this video on a Saturday when it should warm up a little bit, but right now it is freezing cold. It is metal. I think it's metal. Either way, the color match is not perfect, which is kind of odd. Just makes me think it is plastic, but it's making metal sounds. So anyway, it's pretty cool. I dig it. I'll probably pick up an extra one of this and an extra one of the VW bus, just kind of to squirrel away for a little while, just to see what happens with these cars. But other than that, yeah, they're all right. Not too exciting. All right, next, let's get rid of some other more of the Mattel stuff before we move on to some of the Johnny Lightning and the Greenlight stuff. This is that Dr. Strange Lamborghini Huracan coupe. I don't know what Dr. Strange is all about. Not much of a pop culture guy. Definitely not a Marvel or DC guy. Could care less about any of that comic book stuff, so no offense to you if you dig it. It's just not my thing. But this Lamborghini Huracan is fantastic. It looks great with these wheels. We get detail up front. We get detail in the back. It is a excellent looking color for this car. It is all metal, right? Yep. So, am I correct in saying, is this the first time this casting's been done in all metal, or the second time? Oh, I don't know. But either way, it is fantastic. I definitely dig it. It's probably the best regular released Huracan that has come out. I love it because it's so basic. There's just the wheels that look really good on it. It's just, details exactly where you want to see the details. And I mean, you can't argue with that. As a Lamborghini collector, this is a must-have for you for this. I think this looks really, really good. Definitely really good. Almost as cool, and every time I show this car, every time I show the Huracan, I gotta show this. This was a custom made by my buddy, Angel, where he took a Huracan casting, the regular one, the non-metal base one, and chopped the top off and did a custom. And this thing is just fantastic. He detailed out everything there. Just looks beautiful. So these look really good actually together. That's pretty awesome. All right, so there is that one. Really cool to add to the collection. And then this one here, the Back to the Future 3, I just had to get it. An example of DeLorean. I loved the Back to the Future movie series, so I had to pick this one up. And this is the first time I believe that they've done it with like these rail-worthy wheels from the end of the movie. And here it is. I guess the only disappointment you could think of is that these wheels are plastic, but that's really no big deal because of what it is. It's got Zamac finish, which is pretty cool too. It's got a lot of detail on it, and it looks really good. So from Back to the Future 3. That is definitely a cool one, undeniably. So I think I got versions of the DeLorean from every Back to the Future movie, from all three of them. Pretty sure I do. But this is really cool, so definitely dig that. And then last Hot Wheel here. This is the Matchbox Mexico Convention VW Beetle for 50th anniversary. Just for the sake of time here, I'm not going to go ahead and open this up and unscrew it from the base. I'm just going to leave it screwed to the base for right now. I really don't have anywhere to display it currently loose, so it is going to stay on the base for a moment. It looks pretty good. Tempo action looks alright on it. I'd say it's definitely done pretty well. It's got a pearlescent kind of color to it. I suppose I could at least pop off the if it's not too much trouble here. Let's see. Which sometimes these things could be a bear to get open. And yeah, this is no exception, so I'm just not even going to bother with it right now. So for now, I'm just going to leave it as is. But it is pretty neat. It's just screwed to the base there. Very cool little Beetle, so excited to get that. And then let's take a look at, start with these Johnny Lightning. It's a Johnny Lightning 2-pack. Import heat. Here's some important facts. Oh, that's a great little play on words there. Pretty awesome. Or play on word, whatever. Import and facts. So there's that if you want to read that. All rally cars, even with their heavy modifications, are completely road legal. I did not know that. Did you know that? I didn't know that. It's a pretty important fact. So let's take a look. So let's start with the Civic hatchback. This 2000 Civic hatchback, I actually like this casting quite a bit. I've got a few examples of it. I actually showed one example in my 10 Car Tuesday episode, the last one, where I showed some cool Johnny Lightning castings. And I didn't like this to begin with, and then it kind of grew on me for some reason. Now I kind of like this casting. It was pretty good. Wheels need a little fixing here. Not uncommon. There we go. Pretty neat. Of course, it's all metal. It's got rubber tires. I think it looks pretty good. Actually got a really good deal for my buddy Josh on this too. This thing had a creased card, which I'm sure that's why he was getting rid of it. And he gave this to me, this 2-pack, for $7, and I think that's a pretty darn good deal for a 2-pack of Johnny Lightning. And then this is the other one, the Mitsubishi. This is the first time I've had this tooling in my hands from Johnny Lightning. It's a decent one. Looks pretty good. They're releasing a bunch of different versions of this currently too, of this tooling. I think it's pretty good looking. Got lots of detail. Rally art. Mitsubishi. Of course, metal body, metal base. It's got rubber tires. Yeah, it looks really good. I think it looks really good. I think this 2-pack will sell quite well when it hits the stores. I haven't seen it in any store yet. You'll probably find it locally. I'll find it at a Meijer. I think it's the only spot I'm going to see it. You're not going to see it at Walmart's. So you might find them at Hobby Lobbies. If you got one of those, it's probably going to be a place to find it. Otherwise, check out your local hobby dealer. That's probably where it's going to be the easiest to find. If you've got a hobby dealer, it's either local to you or not local to you or whatever. That's probably going to be the easiest way to find them. Or there's always good old eBay. But they shouldn't be too expensive. And they are kind of cool. All right, so there's those two briefly. And then let's go into... let's start by checking out this 1969 Chevy Camaro Vulcan tire livery, which is a hobby exclusive. So if you want to find this one, I'm pretty sure you're only going to find it at a hobby dealer. So here it is. And I'd say it looks pretty good. I probably am going to get one of these 69 Camaros if they put it out in like just a standard stock like livery or whatever. I will probably get one of those then as well. The back of this car looks a little messed up. If you look at it up close, it looks like it's done a little sloppy, which is not that out of the ordinary for good old Greenlight. Quality for them slips a little bit from time to time. I'm trying to see if I can get this hood open here. Here's a look at the motor. Hood opens and shuts really well, so that's a plus. Wheels and tires look really good on it. Looks a little wonky up here. Almost like this tire over here, or this wheel over here is like broken. The axle went too far through it. Yeah, that's exactly what that is on that side. That's unfortunate. Lots of little quality issues recently with Greenlight, which is unfortunate. These tires, though, look great. How they have some of the tread you can kind of see from the side. The tires actually look really good. I just don't like the fact that they must have pushed this wheel on a little too hard at the factory, and it actually busted. It looks like the axle busted through the center of the wheel. Just enough to push that out. The other wheels look great. And then the back of this car looks a bit sloppy. Just in the taillight section. But it looks okay. So here's a quick comparison. You know, Johnny Lightning's not really 1/64 scale, but here is their 69 Corvette. Of course, this is a Corvette Camaro. This is, of course, a convertible. It's the SS, so it looks a little bit different. Of course, the bumper, it's got bumpers and stuff because it's not a racing version. Yeah, it looks okay. They look okay together. I don't know, I'm a little miffed about the whole problem with that wheel. I guess it's not that noticeable, but there's that, and then of course the issue with the back. If you see this in person, I don't know how well this is coming across on camera, but the back of this looks just kind of gross. So that's too bad. Too bad and unfortunate. All right, but moving on. Let's just move on. Datsun 510 Rally. Love this little Datsun 510 that Greenlight puts out. Let's hope I got a good one here. That's the other thing. It's such a crapshoot with Greenlight. That's why it's tough to get them when you just order them, because you really want to look at these cars in person with a fine-tooth comb before you decide which one you're going to pick up, because sometimes they do have issues. This one looks fairly okay. Taillights aren't quite on straight. 7XCA 743. California license plate. And this one, of course, should have an opening hood, right? If I can get it open. There it is. Looks pretty good under there. This one's pretty goodly done. Pretty good done. Goodly. Pretty goodly done. Pretty well done. Don't see too many issues with it. Just those taillights being a little crooked in the back. Other than that, it's not perfect, but it's not that bad. Rolls well. That's a cute little Datsun 510. And then also from the all-terrain series, you got that Ford F100. Go ahead and pop that out. This is probably, I must say, this Ford F100 is my favorite truck casting from Greenlight. The lifted version, anyway. Don't really care about the non-lifted version. And we got some tire issues on here. A little flashing on the tires. All fixable. This stuff is tough on the license plate. You get a legitimate spare here, full-size spare. It's actually a rubber tire. Same rubber tire and rim that they have on the actual car. Let's see what other... Ooh, bumper. There you go. Greenlight quality. That is really unfortunate. Like I said, older Greenlight really doesn't suffer from these quality issues. Newer Greenlight, it seems to be a real crapshoot whether or not you get a good one or a bad one. Which, you know, say what you will, no diecast car is perfect, right? Well, the trailer hitch is on all crooked too. No diecast car is perfect, okay, right? 1/64 scale, they make a lot of them, whatever. They're not perfect. There's going to be little flaws here and there. That's fine, but when there's like a lot of like little egregious problems with your cars, you obviously need to fix something. I know you can't check every single one for quality, but there's got to be some sort of controls in there where you're making less bad ones or less ones with issues, because it does kind of stink to have this happen. Now, this is fixable. It is, but again, I'm just not a fan of having to fix my diecast. When I purchase it, I shouldn't have to glue pieces back together, in my opinion. You guys let me know if I'm totally off base with that. I'm guessing you're going to agree with me, but I don't think you should have to fix your diecast when you buy it. This one is almost Green Machine colored green, but it's not. It's not a greenie. It's a little bit duller of a green than the Green Machine would look like. I'm not sure what the Green Machine actually looks like for this one either. But I will have to fix that bumper, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. Trailer hitch, I don't really care. I guess that the trailer hitch is crooked. So unless you look at it up like this way, it doesn't really matter. I might actually just take the trailer hitch completely off, because that kind of impedes it from fitting in cases anyway, that trailer hitch. So you might lose the hitch. All right, so there's that one. A little bit of a disappointment. Whatever, it is what it is. Next one is this Hobby Shop series. The Hobby Shop series is kind of neat because it comes with an accessory, right? So you get there's the Datsun 510. And then here's a little dude that it comes with. Excuse me. It's okay. Racing driver. Looks all right. The 510, let's take a peek around it. It looks decent. The taillights look pretty good, but of course it is not without its flaws. We've got some weird white residue or paint. I don't know what that is. It appears like you could wipe that off, whatever that white residue is. And the base is on crooked, so it does sit at a bit of a lean. I don't know how obvious that's going to be on camera, but that is a common issue with Greenlight. Of course, the hood's going to open on this one too. It's going to be the same motor as that last little 510 that we looked at. And the front end looks pretty good. There's a little sloppiness going on in there, but not too bad. It looks pretty good. I like the green headlight cover things. Those are a pretty cool little touch. Other than that, it leans to the side, which is annoying, but it is what it is. I don't know how obvious that is in camera, but it's definitely a leaner. Stance on that side, stance on that side. I guess it gives you two different display options. Display it this way for a higher stance. Display it this way for a lowered stance. Now, I know that's not what they're going for, but whatever. You guys should fix your issues for sure. I love your brand, you know. Love the cars you put out. Should definitely fix your issues. Let's take a look at this one. Monte Carlo SS. Like I said before, I think I have all the versions of this casting that have ever come out. Here's the little vintage gas pump. Super Chevy service. Looks okay. And then here's the car. So, of course, now we're going to put it under a fine-tooth comb for quality issues because that's what we're doing now. And wouldn't you know it? Can you see it? So there it is on one side. With a lot of wheel rub. Doesn't really roll very well. Lowered stance. And here it is on this side. You know, I'm sorry, that just sucks. You know, and obviously this is no fault of the hobby dealers or anything like that these cars come from. So I'm not complaining to them where I get these cars from. But Greenlight, come on, guys. I'm having a lot with issues. And this is a bad video because I've had, you know, each one of these Greenlights that I've opened up so far, I've had some sort of issue with it. And it's not just like a nice, you know, issue that's not a big deal. Like this thing leaning to the side like this sucks. I mean, it just sucks. You know, I want to take cool pictures of this car, but it's going to look like garbage with this lean like this. I'm going to have to take pictures of it basically from one side to get it to look decent and hide the fact that it's like completely like crooked. Like, look at that. It's freaking crooked. Come on, guys. I know you're making these by like the tens of thousands now. I think we didn't look at numbers, but this one's $22.11. But can you get like your manufacturing facility wherever these are made to put the cars together correctly? I mean, this car should be fairly easy for you to do. It doesn't have any plastic components except for like that motor in the interior. So there's not really much extra that's going on. Maybe this spoiler is an extra piece. Yeah, I think it is. But either way, get the base on the car correct. I mean, what the hell? So that's too bad. And I'm not about to go buy another one because I need a replacement for it. Because what I'm going to do with this one, that just means I'm going to have to pay double for the vehicle because this one was not put together correctly. Maybe I could drill the thing apart and then put it together with screws, but I don't want to do that. I don't want to have to do that to make this thing look good. I want to be able to just buy a dang car from Greenlight and then have it without issue. That is just too bad. It's really too bad. Diecast companies start coming into these problems, these production problems that they shouldn't have, especially if they're paying more. And I know, yeah, you'd call Hot Wheels maybe an error if it had these issues, but I don't buy these cars because I want errors. And it doesn't really count as an error if you're having an issue with all the production. And why do all of them lean to one side? Is it something to do with packaging? I don't really know. What is going on? If anybody knows, let me know. $71.49 on the bottom of this one. This one is $517, pretty low number on that one. This one is $26.20. So I got to glue a bumper. At least the bumper is fixable. This crooked base crap really isn't fixable. I've tried on a couple of these to really kind of push the one side of the base in to see if it would pop into place. And I really haven't had any luck. I think I had luck with one car doing that. Trying to pop it into place and pop it in so it's like not crooked. I think for this I'd have to actually drill it apart and put the car back together because I'm not sure what it is. I'm not sure if it's the interior that's like holding it up on one side and why it won't actually close completely on one side. I'm not entirely sure what causes it, but yeah. So whatever it is, it's too bad. All right, so we went on for way too long here in the second half, and I apologize for that. It's going to be another like 50-minute video. But it is what it is. All right, so if you stuck around for my Greenlight rant, sorry about that, but it is what it is. I just don't appreciate it. as a diecast collector, and I'm sure you guys don't appreciate it either. If you collect these brands, you don't want issues with them straight out of the package. It's just annoying, really annoying, especially if you're paying, like, if you're buying these retail, you're paying probably $6 for each one, maybe $7 even, and this, frankly, it's unacceptable. All right, so that's gonna be it for this video, guys. Thank you for hanging around for another long one. You guys enjoy your day. Thank you so much, and we'll see you in the next one.